I haven't picked on Richard Taylor in quite a while. Some time back, a police officer struck a local dumbass a couple of times in the head. This is in Kinston, North Carolina. The punches were not exactly haymakers, and the suspect wasn't seriously hurt. Then Richard found out that the cop was white, and well, you know the rest. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dredd to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dredd Show.
Okay, so this video will provide some good lessons on being skeptical of people's claims and also how to present yourself to the public during a city council meeting. Here we go.
The first name would be Richard Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, come over to the podium over here.
Why don't you walk like you have an ounce of ambition? Look determined. Don't lumber up to the microphone like your mom is forcing you to do a chore. And how about wearing a collared shirt at the very least? You're speaking to your elected leaders. Show some respect. So lesson number 1, dress like someone they should take seriously.
Good evening. I am Richard Taylor, 1016 Taylor Street, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
So you're not from Kinston. If I'm on the city council, you're not one of my constituents. So why are you even here? So I'm tuning you out. I answer to my constituents, not you. And no, you don't speak for them. So lesson number 2, mind your own business.
I am here in regards, of course, to that video that we have seen. And this is my second time here. Last year was Khalil Branch, if I'm not mistaken. A couple of years back, it was David Brutality. So there seems to be a pattern of this type of police cowardice to attack that young man like that. And I put emphasis on the word cowardice. Anybody can look at that video and see the wrong in that. And I understand you, Mr. Suggs, in your position, but I'm tired of politicians hiding behind due process and investigation. You're protecting the city more than you are protecting that young man who was.
If I'm a city councilman, the citizens of this community elected me to protect the city. That's my job. We're not hiding behind due process. Due process is a privilege that we granted the officer as part of his hiring. It's in his contract. Lesson number 3, a deal is a deal. What are you expecting us to do? What is that action you want us to take? And if the answer is fire the officer, we can't. We can approve the firing of the officer, but we can't actually fire him. Also, we can't be seen as trying to influence the outcome of a disciplinary investigation. Lesson number 4, tell the audience what tangible action you want done.
Brutally beaten on the ground. He was not a suspect in any of the case. I have the police reports, and they're saying that they attempted to arrest him, and he pulled away. The question is, what was he being arrested for?
And this is not accurate, and it never is, right? They were attempting to detain him, and he refused to cooperate. If the cop had RAS, reasonably articulated suspicion, then the suspect must cooperate. But the suspect admitted that he didn't, as we'll see in another video.
The communicating threats came after he was beaten by the police. So
Yeah, I'd like to know more about these threats.
once again, I feel that is an act of cowardice. And you being a majority black leadership, I think that reflects poorly on you for not willing to speak up, jeopardizing the city, your positions, or what have you.
Translation, you're black, and so you're supposed to take a particular side on this issue, given that this was a black versus white incident. I mean, how persuasive do you find this argument? So lesson number 5, don't play the race card, especially if your audience is of the same race as yourself.
And I spoke to Sergeant Biggins, or Sergeant Bigot, who hung up the phone on me when I was literally asking justified questions about why this young man was arrested.
Okay, so This is the persuasive strategy called play the race card by giving the sergeant a cute insult. Dude, some of those city council members might know Sergeant Biggins personally. What did you hope to gain from this petty slight?
I don't think the officer did anything wrong in hanging up on him. Oh, he called him Sergeant Bigot? Well, maybe I'd better rethink my stance.
And that is what I think about when I look at the majority black city council of Kinston, North Carolina, and their response or lack thereof to the brutal beating of 18-year-old Cameron Williams that was caught on video and has over 2 million views, which has...
Here's a thought. Perhaps the majority black city council has decided not to make it about race. If the kid was white, do you think that the city council should go ahead and ignore the cries for justice? That this is only an issue when the alleged victim is black?
Each time I have been there, the black mayor, Dontario Hardy, has been conveniently absent in the wake of these incidents. And I find that is an act of cowardice as well, attempting to avoid the smoke, as they say.
No one is scared of you. You wield no power. You're not even from that town.
Me and several concerned citizens appeared at the city council meeting yesterday and voiced our displeasure. I'm going to play you a few more of the comments from that video, but I find it strange that these politicians kind of deflect.
They're not taking you seriously. That's all they're telling us. And should they? No. Again, you're not from Kinston.
What does that have to do with that wrong that was committed against that young man?
If the city council states that the cop committed a crime, then the cop will sue the city council for interfering with his due process rights. Remember, he hasn't been convicted of anything.
Ms. Rosita Cox.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, take off your cap. I realize you're a woman, you have more latitude when wearing head covering, but this is a baseball cap. Take it off.
I'm Rosita Cox. You may remember me. I'm the Emmy Award-winning film director behind the Sundance and PBS-supported film Basketball Heaven. Despite pitching my film's community engagement campaign to you, which was $500,000 of my own money, I received no outreach from you guys.
Perhaps this is one of those Rashad Ritchie claims, where he crowed about being nominated for an Emmy, when in reality he was nominated for a Southeastern Emmy. And do you want to guess who nominated him? So what is it about Rosita Cox and this Emmy? Well, I was right. She didn't exactly win an Emmy. She was on a team that won a Chicago Midwest Regional Emmy for local news channel WTTW. That year, this organization gave out 80 awards for local programs. She was one of 5 directors on a short documentary called First Hand: Life After Prison. These Emmys are really easy to get, and why every news channel in existence always crows about its
Emmy Award-winning coverage.
But at least her team won. That's more than Rashad Ritchie can claim. How unimportant is this documentary? It's not even listed on her bio. And I'm not buying this $500,000 donation claim. To have those kind of liquid assets, you would need to be a millionaires many times over. But according to the IMDb database, you have directed 2 short films and produced 1 full-length documentary called Bike Vessel. That movie has garnered a total of 23 viewer ratings. And what was the movie Bike Vessel about? Bike Vessel follows a father and son as they cycle from St. Louis to Chicago. Film director Eric Seal's father almost died after 3 open-heart surgeries. However, he makes a miraculous health recovery after discovering his love for cycling. Gripping action galore, thrills at every turn. But it does have a star-studded supporting cast comprising nobody. The character of the director in the film was Eric D. Seals, played by Eric D. Seals. Guess who directed the movie? Eric D. Seals. He directed a documentary about himself, starring himself. No ego there. Rosita was only a co-producer, by the way. The other producer was Donnie Seals. This is some real Rashad Ritchie hype going on here. Lesson number 7. Question grandiose claims.
I believe arts program is a part of an ecosystem of safety that could have prevented current issues. While I previously sought collaboration, I'm now here because of the tragic beating of Cameron Williams.
So I'm here to talk about Cameron Williams. But before I begin, why didn't you invest your taxpayers' hard-earned money in my arts program? If you had, we wouldn't have so much crime. Lesson number 8. Focus on the problem at hand, not your own petty problems.
I want to give a shout out to our community for finally showing up. Our advocacy will go beyond Facebook this time. Why? Because I will personally not stand by and sit comfortably at home while you murder Black children.
Wait, you're accusing the city council of murdering Black children? Yeah, this tactic is really going to work on that mostly Black city council.
Kinston Police Department has gone unchecked for far too long. I ask, if we are spending almost $7 million in Kinston Police Department each year, and every year they seem to receive a raise, why do we still have so much crime and violence in our town?
Because too many in your town are committing crime and violence. Let's check out Kinston crime. And it's pretty clear that Kinston, North Carolina is a dangerous town. A crime rate of approximately 51.48 per thousand. Oh my. Ranks in the 9th percentile for safety, meaning it's safer than only 9% of cities in the U.S. Its violent crime rate is 708 per 100,000 people. I'm telling you, I've done a lot of crime statistics for grants and stuff. That is really impressive. However, it says that, despite the high rates, Kinston has seen a decrease in crime over the past few years. The total crime rate has decreased by almost 36%, with violent crime down by 33%. It sounds like things are maybe on the upswing. Crime is actually dropping, and perhaps those increased police budgets have something to do with it. I guarantee you one thing, defunding the police won't lower the crime rate. Ask Oakland. Let me be clear here. If you don't act like a jackass or do something insanely stupid, your chances of being a victim of police brutality are practically zero. Who should you fear? Not the police. It's your friends. Those that you know. Those that live near you. They're the ones that will get you. And if the police round them up and send them to jail, that makes it safer for you. So why should you care about them? If I lived in those communities, as far as I'm concerned, let the cops beat on them.
The answer, because policing has never been proving to reduce crime and violence. It only escalates it. This is a fact. This is not my opinion.
It's just your opinion. But if you want to put this to the test, just put out a 6-month moratorium on police involvement in your community. Cops can eat donuts all day and refuse to go on calls. They wouldn't mind that, and it would turn your community into a paradise. Or, better yet, just have them police the richer, white neighborhoods of Kinston. According to your logic, all the violence would migrate from the current high crime areas into those richer neighborhoods, right? Because that's what crime does. It follows the police wherever they go. She is employing a classic cause-effect fallacy. The police don't cause crime. They apprehend those suspected of causing crime. The more police there are, the more suspects that are apprehended. When police are not there, the public doesn't report any crimes because no one will come out to investigate. We see that in California's Bay Area. The property crime rates there are astronomical. But they are almost certainly far higher than we know, because store owners don't bother calling the cops on petty crimes anymore. The real culprits here are the criminals, the ones that hurt others in their neighborhoods. And why don't you point your finger at them? Well, we all know why. So let me give it to you straight. Police patrol areas where crime is high. Those that benefit from these patrols are the innocent, especially children and the elderly. They're the ones that can't stroll to the park or to the store because of criminal threats. And yes, these children and elderly are mostly black. Does BLM care about them? No. They rally around those with massive criminal records who victimize the black population in their communities. Lesson number 9. BLM is pro-criminal.
Effectively combating crime and violence requires addressing community needs and investing in social services, life-affirming programs.
Like your arts nonprofit, right?
Traditional strategies have failed us. Crime is high in Kinston, and so is the police budget. What does that mean? That means they're not doing their job.
That means they not doing their job? What? You're a film producer? That means they not doing they's job. Or whatever it was you said.
Kinston Police Department, it's time for a demotion.
But we just read that crime is going down. So they should be demoted? And this is the problem. They don't care if crime goes down. They just hate cops. Crime goes down, maybe because the police are doing a really good job, and that's bad news for them.
Policing by its nature is reactive and responsive to crime. They show up after the crime has already been committed. It is not a proactive response to crime. The only way to address crime and violence, it has been proven, is by addressing issues at their root. We need to give our community what they need. There are children who can't eat. There are mothers who can't give their kids lunch money. All of the kids at Kinston High are on the free lunch program.
Ah, the crime rate is due to starvation. I didn't know that.
And so they go out and they need to feed their child and they don't have money. So you maybe they're put in a position where they feel like they either need to shoplift some bread or go hungry that night.
But we giving $6 million a year to a police force that is beating Black children for walking down the street?
But as with most BLM arguments, the truth lies elsewhere. Cops don't beat on anyone for simply walking down the street. We'll find out soon enough why Cameron got beat on. And of course, it has to do with his own stupidity. But that'll be for another video.
Are y'all serious? Are y'all serious? Half of y'all are Black. Are y'all serious right now? I'm going to show up here every time y'all meet until some of that money is reallocated. We got a homeless shelter. There are homeless people in the streets. We have a mental health crisis. You can put that money towards social services. There are so many places. I came here with a 12-page PowerPoint with all of the ways you can invest in our young people, and yet I am back because no one called me.
Ah, so the PowerPoint was mostly about your nonprofit selling the city its services. Got it. Keep in mind, I'm not bagging on nonprofits and their effects on crime. I mean, she's kind of right. Social services can make a difference. But going in there, attacking the police to try to sell your social services, it's not a good tactic. The police should be partners with your nonprofit and not enemies.
But because I saw a video of a young man seizing under a grown man's body.
Any credibility you had, and you had almost none, just went out the window. If the city wants to partner with a community-based organization on a serious project, they're not going to call you. You come off as a political cancer. These partnerships require a certain level of trust and camaraderie. But the first time they refuse to do what you want, you'll be hitting social media complaining about it. There's an old saying, well, actually, it's my saying, you can create your own trouble. You don't need to partner with it.
Shout out to that sister, Rosita Cox, because as she mentioned, she has sought to collaborate with the city to bring about programs to help curb whatever crime and to foster youth engagement and youth development through the arts.
Yep. This was about her nonprofit not getting any contracts with the city. Everyone has their hand out.
Because the last time I was here at 1.17 minutes, our elected mayor decided he wanted to rudely interrupt me. What is the time frame a person have up here when they come to make these citizen comments? 3 minutes, okay?
It's
And
right above.
the next question I would ask is, why was I interrupted at 1 minute and 17 seconds at this last meeting if this is where we're supposed to come and express our concerns? Neither one of you stopped the mayor when he tried to stop me. At 1.17 seconds, 1 minute, 17 seconds, because he got tired of hearing me. You guys allowed him to attempt to run me away. Y'all don't know when that gonna happen, no way, because I knew it was 3 minutes. If we stand for nothing, we fall for anything, and we falling for anything right now. But that was my first concern.
You literally burned up 1 minute of your 3 minutes complaining about not having enough time to speak. Lesson number 10, use your time wisely. And also, you know what? No t-shirts. Especially those that have political slogans on them.
What is how can we be cool with spending that on the police department? These people got on defund the police shirts. We're calling for no funding, but we've given them $1.2 million just for this year alone.
You're calling for no funding, no police, huh? Yeah, again, ask Oakland how that worked out. Well, Oakland really didn't do it. Not even they were that stupid.
We replacing them with 2025s and 2026s to terrorize us with, because that's what they do. I live on Chestnut Street, by the way. My address ain't like none of y'all's. I live in the hood, and I get to see what go on in the hood, and it ain't good.
It's funny, but in every city I've lived in, the hood was a bad place to break down at night. And why is the hood ain't good? Because of the people living there. Not everyone, but the ones that terrorize the others. The ones that the police are trying to control. Cops aren't the ones breaking into homes at night. They're not the ones holding up stores at gunpoint.
Martin Luther King, up there by all the projects, wherever there's a project at, that's where they at. Instead of on Heritage Street where they drinking like fish, driving like ain't tomorrow. Oh, I happened to see the police that quit because he got caught drinking and driving. There's many more of him. But we letting them get away with anything. My last thing is, we are asking you guys, I was told by the city manager, Rhonda Barrett, that y'all hold a minute, she didn't recommend for y'all to get that raise.
And that is the last conversation you will have with Rhonda Barber. You are talking to her bosses. They're the ones that hired her, and they're the ones that can fire her. And you just told them that she didn't think they should get a pay raise. What the hell is wrong with you? Lesson number 11, respect confidentiality.
I was told that the mayor amended the budget and gave that raise. So we're asking you guys to do the same thing y'all did to get y'all raise, to relocate that $644,000 y'all done gave to the police. We don't care nothing about nobody cams. It's our money. Ask us how we want to spend it. Don't just take it upon yourself to go in no room and decide how y'all gonna spend the taxpayers' money.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. So you're threatening violence here, huh? Okay.
No justice, no peace.
All right, once again, another citizen pointing out discrepancies in the budget, how these cities spend the money, the taxpayers' money, on things that they want, not necessarily what the citizens want. And once again,
By the time people reach your age, Richard, they should figure out how representative government works. Of course, the city council decides on how to spend the taxpayers' money. That's their job. In fact, that is probably the main reason you elected them. Well, you didn't elect them, but you're not from Kinston. It's none of your business. Lesson number 12, understand how government operates.
again, you can go back and watch the video of Cameron Williams being beaten by police. It's on several platforms. It's even on this YouTube channel.
Speaking of such, in my next video, we'll see why Cameron Williams was beaten. And yeah, he did the stupid. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.